Good morning, it's Tim with you. My goal for today is doing a stout, but it's gonna be a little different. So I'm kind of going off recipe today. I have a bunch of leftover stuff, so I'm making kind of like a goulash beer, but it actually sounds pretty good. So let's get into it. I am doing an interesting brew this morning on this wonderful Saturday morning. So I've been working on my efficiency. I've been having some issues with my last two batches, and my efficiency was extremely low. So I was trying to do my Necromancer Stout, which is a milk stout, and I actually purchased a grain mill, something I didn't have before. And so I'm going to crush my grain. Even though I ordered it crushed off of morebeer.com, I still think that it was a problem with efficiency and it wasn't crushed enough. So I'm going to go ahead and crush it again. Hopefully that should help. I also got some water treatment. So I tend to use spring water because it has some minerals in it. But since I don't have a profile or anything, I can't fine tune it as much as I want to. So what I'm going to end up doing is I bought a pH meter, a nice one, and I'm going to adjust it. When the mash is going, I'm going to adjust the pH at that point, and hopefully I can get into that sweet spot that between 5.2, 5.6, somewhere else on the pH scale. So I've got my lactic acid and I've got some baking soda, so hopefully I can kind of adjust that. I don't know what additional minerals are going to be in there. I might eventually try some brewing salts at some point, but I'm trying to get a stable batch. Okay, so as I'm still waiting for my mash to get up to temp, let's go over some of the grains that I've got going on today. So typically, for my milk stout, I need chocolate malt and some nice high crystal. But this time, I'm doing something a little different. I'm doing kind of like a mismatch here. So hopefully it'll end up working. Don't hate me for mixing American and UK grains. All right, so I'm starting out with 10 pounds of two-row. You can kind of see from the supplier site that the husks all still seem intact, but I'm going to go ahead and run them through the crusher anyway one more time just to make sure. Some of them I think they're just not crushed well. It just looks, I don't know, it doesn't look right. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Instead of chocolate malt, I'm actually using some Munich dark malt. There's my lactose. Got a pound of that. I'm going to be using some 5060 crystal malt. Dun, dun, dun. I'm going to put a little bit of carapils for a little bit of head retention on it. And then got a little bit of honey malt, which I thought sounded really good. And then, of course, the roasted barley. Now, I also have these cocoa nibs. And I've seen several different ways that you can use these. I think I'm actually going to put these in the boil. So I've put them in the fermenter before. I've toasted them before. And they all come out pretty good. So I figured might as well do something with them. And then, of course, for the hops. Now, I haven't decided yet. I either have 1 ounce of Fuggles, which I love Fuggles, or I have, I think, at least 2 ounces of the Nuggets. And I really like Nuggets too. So I might make it just a little hoppier and go with the Nuggets. That way I don't mix Fuggles and Nuggets. I'll share my recipe that I'm going to go with here in just a minute. I have 10 pounds of two-row that's crushed. And then I'm adding 1 pound of the Viking dark malt. We're adding 8 ounces of the Baird's crystal malt, 5060. All right, so we got 6.5 ounces of the carapils. All right, we're gonna do 12 ounces of the American honey malt. And finally, we're doing roasted barley. Probably have about at least 8 ounces in here. All right, it's getting to get a bunch of barley. We've got 13 3/4 ounces of roasted barley. Like I said, it's gonna be a bit of a hodgepodge. All right, I'm gonna mill it up and we're gonna start mashing. Okay, so today I'm gonna be mashing at 154 for 90 minutes. So just to make sure that I get all those sugars out, it's been an issue that I'm trying to work on. So I'm making small adjustments here and there. Like a big, beautiful tub of oatmeal. Look at that. Okay, make sure I get everything all nice and saturated. It looks like it is. So I'm gonna let it sit here for a little bit. Put my timer up for about 15 minutes. Let it sit, rest. Make sure we're even temp all across the board because I added additional water. And then we'll get to it. All right, so now we're going to test the pH, make sure our pH is good. We need to make any adjustments to it. So right now, it's giving me an ambient temperature reading and the pH reading. It's already been cleaned, it's calibrated, so we have our solution here. It might be still a little warm, but I'm gonna go ahead and test it anyway. Put it in there. You can see the temperature climbing. But it's stable, 5.3. That's exactly where we want it to be. It's right there. And adding a little bit of baking soda earlier did help quite a bit. So that's great. Okay, so did some checking. Not great numbers. And I mean, the water's good. I don't know what the profile is, but the pH is good. So that's a start. It ended up being 5.3, which is right there in that sweet spot. It's exactly where I want to be pre-boil. So that's good. So we've got a really nice boil going. We just got it set up and about to do my first hop drop. But the gravity's not great. It's I think I said it was 1.038, which is, it needed to be at least 1.056. And I don't really understand where the bad efficiency is coming from. It's possible that the grains are too old, that they've been sitting for too long. I guess that's very possible. So I don't know, that's the next thing I'm gonna try. I'm gonna do a whole fresh batch, run numbers, and see if I get my stuff back. In your opinion, does two-row tend to do better, or does Maris Otter? I mean, I've had good luck with both, so I'm just kind of surprised that I'm not having so much good luck with two-row lately. So, but I'm about to do my first hop drop. Let's do it. Boom, solid. Okay, so I also added the cacao nibs. Okay, so we're good for now. We're gonna come back in about half an hour. We're gonna drop in the lactose and start getting the clarifier and the chiller ready. Okay, so it's about half hour before the end of the boil, and we're about to do another hop drop. We're gonna do another 1.5. We're gonna do 1.5 ounces of nuggets. I want this to be a little bit hoppier than my other beers. And then we're also going to be dropping in some cane sugar, sweeten it up a little bit. I'm gonna go right on in there with it. So we'll be back in about 15 minutes so that we can drop in the lactose and the chiller. Okay, so let's show what I've done here. Okay, so I've got the chiller in here now. Needs a few minutes. I'm about to drop in the milk sugar, lactose, and so I've got my drain line. It's going out here over here by the RV, and it goes out over there. I don't have a sink to drop it into, so this is the best I've got. And then the other is I'm getting the hose water coming in. And it's gonna chill it. It'll probably drop from roughly 200 degrees to about 80 in about 10 minutes. So pretty good, very efficient. All right. Dropping in a pound of lactose. Stir that stuff in. Yeah. Whew. Probably should have done that before I put the chiller in, but whew, hot. All right. All right, we should be good. So we only got a few more minutes. Really, before we'll start to cool this guy off. Been going since about 8 o'clock this morning. It is now currently 1:30. So we're ready to cool this guy down. Here we go. Off. Doink. All right, first thing that's coming out is the hot bucket. I hate the way hops look after they're boiled. They're delicious. Make the beer so tasty. How much did we end up with? Okay, so we're right at, what, 5.5 gallons there? Okay. It's good. It's about where we want to be. Yup. All right. So we got water coming. It's exiting out the back. So let's go ahead and start the whirlpool. All right. Got to cool you down. So here's where I have this. This is a handy thing. I use it for automotive, but it's a temperature reader, and it's just you just pull the trigger, see where it's at. So right now we are currently at 175 degrees. So you can kind of tell, so if I were to zip over here to the incoming line, 88 degrees. Going out is 133 degrees. All right, so I've been stirring for just a few minutes, see where we're at. Hey, 158 degrees. Now another complication in beer making that I've discovered is the chilling. So trying to get the beer down to pitch temperature using just a water chiller is difficult. So there's several different ways you can do it. What I ended up doing, I've got a chest freezer that's over here in the garage that's attached with a temperature controller. I dropped the temperature controller down to about 25 degrees. And once I get this down into a temperature where I can transfer it to a fermenter, I'll put it in the chiller and let it, the cooler, and let it sit there for about 3 hours. And it'll drop temperature pretty quick, get to pitch temp, and then I'll bring the temperature back up. Okay, we're at 108. Whew. And it's a workout. Yeah, the good news is you do this for about 15 to 20 minutes. You can transfer it to the fermenter at that point. It's worth it. Oh, 98 degrees. We're good. All right, so today's fermenter is going to be a Venus. Yeah, looks good. Okay. Sanitizer is Star Sand with distilled water. All right. Are we ready? We are ready. Go! The handle is correct. Good. I have had it spill before. It's not fun. It's got a pretty good color to it. Of course, I don't have, a direct light on it, but it's dark. It's dark enough. All that roasted barley, cocoa nibs, added some wonderful color to it. This goulash beer might actually end up being something worth a darn. We're just shy of 5 gallons. Let's take a look inside here. There's still a little bit in there. As far as batch size, it turned out pretty good. Got right there at 5 gallons. Nice. Okay. I'm about to get this thing ready for some checks, and then I'm going to clean my equipment. All right, let's run our final gravity test. Here we go. A little bit here. It's brown in color. Here we go. See where we're at. Okay, it's covered pretty well. All right, at least we got something. Final gravity 1.050. That's okay. I'm okay with that. Okay, so it's 95.6 degrees right now. So it needs to drop at least 25 degrees. It'll probably take 3 hours. There we go. And boom, brew day is done. Last thing I've got to do is when this gets down to pitch temp, put the yeast in it, put the stopper in it, set it to the right temp, and then we let her go. All right, thanks for watching.